right, good morning, and good morning, people of Oyo State and everyone joining us across Dominion Television. Welcome to The Agenda, and I am Chike Obogu. Today, we'll be talking about something that goes beyond party colors and personal ambitions. Setting a clear issue-based tone for campaigns under the Allied People's Movement here in Oyo State as we look towards the 2027 elections. Politics in this state has always been lively. Markets in Bodija still open early. Traffic on Iwo Road still tests patience. Farmers in Okeogun still measure the rains. And then parents still worry about school fees and hospital bills. The question today is simple. Can we keep the conversation focused on those everyday realities instead of making noise? Well, joining me in the studio is a man who has spoken for the Governor Makinde bloc inside the PDP and understands the current political realignment. There's an alliance between the PDP and the APM. But today, he speaks for the APM. Michael Ogunshino, it's good to have you on the agenda this morning.
Thank you, Chike Obogu. Thank you for having me. It's been a while on your show. And I want to say good morning to all of our listeners all over the world. Before I start, I think it's better that I quickly correct a particular impression.
Okay.
When you were introducing, you said that the traffic in the world still tests patients.
Yes.
I'm sure you know that is not true.
It is.
Because there's no longer traffic in the world.
There is.
Governor Seyi Makinde.
There is. I remember we passing there recently.
Where?
After the Osun State elections. There was traffic. You know, it still tests the patience of people, but not as much as it used to be.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's still traffic.
That's right.
Whether it is reduced or whether there's still traffic there. Well, Michael, let's start plainly this morning. And the Allied People's Movement has become the new platform in Oyo State. I know many people who were previously in the PDP have moved, or some will say they have sailed into the APM with the governor of the state, the incumbent governor of the state. So why is an issue-based campaign, especially important right now for the APM?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Because in 2019, let me say something. Recently, we were with the governor at a particular meeting with party leaders, and then they said that APM is a platform, but PDP is the structure.
APM is the platform.
But PDP is the structure. So it is
PDP
structure. So it is the PDP.
PDP is the engine. APM is the
body.
vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
So it means that what we're actually doing is that the same energy with which we prosecuted the election under the PDP is the same energy we're going to use to prosecute the election under this APM. The only thing that is different is that instead of pressing your fingers on the space provided for PDP, put it where it is for APM.
Is that not anti-party?
That is not anti-party, actually. Before now, in fact, even in advanced democracies, alliance has always been the way. It's not alien to democracy. It's not novel. It's not today that parties have alliance. APC, there's a particular coalition, an alliance, but a coalition that formed the APC. Who says that cannot happen to next year after the election? So I'm saying that it's not a new thing in our politics. It's not. In Osun State, the PDP in Osun had an alliance to support Adeleke, right? APM in Osun had an alliance to support the Accord Party's candidates, and that's not matter of place. Currently, what you call alliance in Oyo State here is not very similar to what we call the Rainbow Coalition, right? That even though we're in this political party, but we are aligned with the candidate of this other political party.
But does that make it right?
Well, in a democracy, I want to use the words of the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said all is fair in politics, and that's what the president said. And we're supposed to be the number one upholder of a democratic tenet and values. He said all is fair in politics.
So
again,
they got it wrong doesn't mean it is right.
Well, it's not good for a democracy, but it's a reality at this moment.
Okay.
Because parties differ on ideologies.
Oh, okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
So which means that, and people that wrote the ideology or the blueprint or the manifesto of the PDP, they did it in the consciousness of the fact that if you're in a party, this is what you must believe in. For example, I've never been part of the progressives. For me, I would never be part of the progressives, the APC. Why? In ideology, in thinking, in style of governance, they know they don't align with my belief. Do you get it? I've never been an Aoist in my life, and I don't think I want to be. And then there are people that feel that I will always be best after fried rice. It's their choice. So that's
It's
that's
a personal
why,
opinion.
most of the time. So that's why I said it's not good for our democracy. It's not very good for our democracy, but unfortunately, that's our reality.
Oh, okay, so let's get back to the question now.
Yeah. So issue-based campaign.
Yeah, why
So-
is the issue-based campaign important right now?
No, because
for the API?
what we've had is that in 2019 when we came on board, when the Sheyi Makinde came on board, when we met a lot of very good things. We also met a lot of very bad things. We inherited both assets and liabilities. And then it's very critical because campaigns give us a privilege to ask questions. Where are we coming from? Where are we now? Where should we be now? And where should we be going from here? And for me, these are the critical issues. If anybody's coming to say vote for me, we should ask you, where was Oyo State before 2019? If Sheyi Makinde is coming to say vote for my successor, vote for Bimbo Adekombi, vote for my party, the real question should be, Baba, for you to deserve to install a successor, please, don't mind my choice of words. I'm saying that consciously. For you to say you deserve to nominate a successor that the Oyo electorate will accept from you, you must ask question, Baba, have you not disappointed us? Have you not failed us? Have you led us well in the last 8 years? Have you done so much well for us that you deserve to say, please vote for this person? You will continue the good works that I have done. You will improve on areas where I have not performed creditably well. And that's why we are as a people. And that's why it is critical and important to also look at matter from issue based. Again, I've been shouting this, and thank God platforms like Dominion TV, you are the one bringing this kind of conversation. Some of us who are Oyo first, some of us who are brain things about Oyo first, we've been shouting, really shouting, that there's no need for religion, ethnic, financial. No, those conversations are very unnecessary. They are very infinitesimal. At the end of the day, they are very insignificant to what happens in life of. I've heard people say that that particular candidate has money. Oh, in fact, there's a particular one that's throwing money around everywhere. That throws money. I'm saying no. Collect his money, but ask him questions. Okay, what should we expect exactly? What should we expect from you? Apart from this throwing money around, apart from throwing tantrums, apart from composing political songs and abusing your opponents, what should we expect from you in terms of healthcare, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, in terms of workers' welfare, in terms of security, in terms of our economy, in terms of making life, in terms of making people enjoy the dividends of democracy? How are you going to do it? These are the critical questions that should be at the core of our mouth. And thankfully, when platforms like this arise to responsibilities, where it is to the betterment of the nation, of the states rather. Number two is, if you look at the issue of issue-based campaign, why is it important for us? Very important because this election is about the future. That is what I just keep telling people. This election, 2027 election, is just about the future of this nation, future of our country, future of our state. That's the truth. Future of Africa. So the 2019 governors, the 2019 set of 2019 governors, right? That was a year after 2015 to 2019 was a very bad year in our economy in this nation. From 2019 to 2023, the economy was trying to be balanced, but wasn't really yet balanced. But 2023 till now, there's been a lot of money. And guess what? By 2031, states will have a lot of money. And I mean a whole lot of money to do a lot of things with. So the question is that these people saying we should vote for them, how will they be able to manage abundant resources? One of the things presidency keeps saying is the fact that your governor has a lot of money now. Your governor has plenty of money. So you ask questions. You want to become governor, how are you going to manage these abundant resources, as it were, as claimed by the presidency? You know, what's your intelligence level? Are you able to genuinely look at matters from beyond the surface? Is your brilliancy Does your brilliancy goes beyond the surface? And for me, it's a real question. That's why I'm saying that this election is about the future of the state. That is it. So see where you're coming from. In 1999, Odla Madeshino, right?
Yeah.
A former school teacher, an educationist by excellence, a core waste, right? Who came and did a lot, opened up the teachers' welfare, you know. And in 2003, we had a chemical engineer, the current Olubadan of Badoland, our father, our very revered father, Oba Rashid Adewola Doja, chemical engineer, industrialist by excellence, multi-billionaire, entrepreneur to, you know, great man, became the governor of the state. After that, we had a retired security expert, Otumba Christopher Lawakala, became a governor, right? And then we now had Governor Isiaka Abiola Ajimobi, a mobile train executive, an administrator by excellence, right? A man with the gift of the gap, a very super intelligent man, Governor Ajimobi, right? And then after that, we now have Sheyi Makinde, a Shell-trained oil and gas expert too, who spent a lot of years building international businesses. A man who is solid financially, who is solid socially, who is rich in character, right? And all of these persons I've just mentioned, these are about 5 governors. You cannot doubt their, number one, brilliance. You cannot doubt their commitment to the state. You cannot doubt their very beautiful antecedents. So if anybody is coming about to say, I want to become the governor for your state, we should sit them down and ask questions. What have you been doing before now? The positions we gave you to handle, how did you handle it before now? You know, maybe you're a former, so look at the guys that are running. There's one who's a businessman, they're the candidate, solid businessman, right? Also has a media platform. The APC candidate, the sitting senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right? Another person is
He's also a lawyer.
Yeah, he also has a PhD and also a lawyer, right? And then there's also the guy from a media executive in this state, who is on the platform of Accord Party, even though that position is being contested now. But of course, at least currently is a candidate of Accord Party, and then the APM's candidates. So you look at these 4 major, with all the respect to that persons who are running for governor in every other party. I think these 4 are very prominent.
It's not really time for gubernatorial.
I'm not talking about campaigns. Yeah. I'm saying that all of these 4 persons, and those are the issues. And these are for me, they are issues based. We should look at them and say, okay, what have you been doing before now?
What plans do they have for the people?
Exactly.
Not popularity.
No, exactly. What have you done before? So if you say I want to become governor, I cannot wake up one morning and say, Michael Ogunshina, I want to go and buy gubernatorial form. Right? I must have had a plan, right? Because it's not an election that my family members will vote. I'll require votes from across the local governments we have in your state. So there must be something I'm offering that is deeper than just my name. And that is very deep brilliance. It is intelligence. It's very beautiful antecedents. And there's the fact that the positions that we've had before now, people can trace 1 or 2, 3 things that you have done for other people. You have shown the commitment to the state before now. Right? Lam Foundation has always been involved in education in this state before he became a governor. Right? And this is reflected in the kind of children he raised. And Bola and also Bola Doja, of course, has been in Olubadan online. Even at the point he was a governor, he was already in Olubadan online. Right? Everybody knows that he has business, he has farms. And then Ladoja, of course, Akala, of course, is contributed massively to the security architecture of the country. A retired police executive, and you have Ajimobi, who has been a senator before he became a governor, right? Before Sheyi Makinde, who runs a free scholarship, who runs a lot of things he has done for the people. In fact, at some point, Sheyi Makinde became, anyways.
Let's look at this here. Some critics have said that issue-based seem to be polite to the politician until campaigns get deeper. So when it gets deeper, it starts getting dirty. So now, how do you make that stick?
Well,
how does the discipline come into play?
No, see, let me tell you, that's very true. If I speak to you, that's the truth. I have composed songs, I have rehearsed them, and I have songs written down for the opposition in your state. And you know I can sing very well. And they will hear when campaign starts.
Michael, the choir master.
You know, I've composed a lot of songs and dance for them.
Okay.
We'll give them special dance and special song.
It's
But
like
I'm saying
dancing wins elections now.
I think so too.
Maybe.
I think so. But really, let's look at it from the angle of deep reasoning. There is issue-based.
Yeah.
But you see, to make that particular environment more exciting, to make it more exhilarating, we also have to put some of those very funny innuendos. And what it does for us is simple. It helps us sustain the energy of the campaigns. You cannot just keep going to people and say, issue-based. Sometimes you also have to bring in those very funny things too. And what it does for you, but I'm saying that beyond, you cannot completely whisk that away from politics. You know, name calling, subtle abuses, you know, we have
Basic propaganda.
We have all of those things, part of the game.
And
Because,
some non-factual information.
well, I don't do non-factual. I don't know about.
Sometimes it happens.
I don't do non-factual, but when it comes to singing, I can sing. I have a sharp mouth. I can sing. But I'm saying that the truth of the matter is that if you really look at it, even in advanced nations of the world, I followed American elections, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. You know, you saw the name calling, you saw the propaganda, right? You saw the sheer politics.
But it was more
right?
civil.
It wasn't civil. Though.
It was civil.
It wasn't civil.
There was some,
It wasn't
some high
civil.
level of civility.
No, it wasn't civil. Kamala Harris went to the microphone and called and used the F word for the former American president, Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump took the phone and called Joe Biden names that are unprintable, right? And that is, so they have issues. So they can talk about economy.
But that's their culture. We have a culture of Omoluabi.
So
why do we try to treat?
That's what I'm saying. That you see, some of these things too. And you see, many of the messages you want to pass, they are in those songs.
But they are vulgar. Sometimes.
Well, because of again, back to our culture. Because our culture also sometimes encourages those vulgarity. You know what it does for us is that it helps to keep the environment, that the atmosphere charged.
So it's
the
no
kind
longer
of charge
issue
we want.
based.
No, I'm saying that beyond all of this, pedestrian, because it's very pedestrian.
Yeah.
Abusing people is very pedestrian.
Yeah.
Beyond those
Being
pedestrian, yes, very petty. Beyond those parochial things, there must also be a platform where we genuinely engage on things that ultimately affect the people. These songs and dance do not really affect the people. It can sustain us for the campaigns, but beyond it, there's something called governance, and it's deeper than politics. So we must ask you and be sure that you really understand beyond politics. Do you really understand what governance is all about? For example, I also want to make this a particular example. There's a particular man who is currently running. I'm not going to mention his name or his party. He's running to become senator in Oyo South, and currently the citizen House of Rep member. This particular person, if you actually that he stood up to speak. He's been in the House of Reps since 2023. He's a first-timer. He's currently running for your South. That he will stand up to speak in the House of Reps, National Assembly less than 5 times since 2023 till now. You cannot trace one very strong bill or motion to his name in 3 years plus. And then you are saying, give me a higher chance at the Red Chamber, at the highest lawmaking organ of the nation. Would that not be a risk? We should ask you that the one we gave to you, apart from the things you are doing now, what have you done with those things? What did you bring home from those things?
The first timer is also a member of your party.
Yes. No. So I'm not. This person I'm talking about is not in our political system.
Okay.
It's not a member of our party.
Okay.
Do you get it? It's in the other party. It's an opposition party. He's aspiring to go for Senate now. And then we should ask him that, Oga, since you gone to the House of Reps, right? What you are doing in that place of representation, how have you represented the people? And this particular person is from a very agrarian and rural part of Oyo State. What have you done with the platform you gave to represent the people? How have you represented them? And how many times have you spoken to speak about issues that affect them in the National Assembly? So apart from coming around to Ibadan to throw money around, number 2, so again, Mr. Chike, if you genuinely subject matters to deep, and do you also agree with me that Oyo State is evolving? All right? We are evolving. We are moving from the local Ibadan and Abula kind of thing. We're becoming more modern. We're becoming more urbane. Do you understand? In some instances, people now compare us with Lagos in terms of entertainment, in terms of in terms of modern technologies, right? In terms of access to very modern living.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, as I speak to you, we're talking about airport upgrades in your state, right? We're talking about 5-star hotels. Look at our nightlife, look at what has happened to us. So, you need somebody who is modern enough, who understands the fact that we are done with Gen Z, we are not in Gen Alpha. In fact, we are leaving Gen Alpha to come Gen Beta now, right? So, yeah, so we're even saying that we are switching from AI to SI now. The world is moving towards synthetic intelligence. So we need somebody who is very intelligent, who understands the realities of the modern world. And those are the questions we should ask you in campaigns.
Okay, so
those are the issues to ask you.
Let me ask you this.
How modern are you in your intelligence?
Okay, good. Modernity is good. Moving from artificial intelligence to synthetic intelligence is good. But you see, politicians have this habit of going to the grassroots and throwing money around and saying, oh, because you're popular, you must vote for me. Is that also an evolution? Are you looking at that as demystifying that? Or is this something that will continue to happen?
See, it's very unfortunate. And I'm here being sincere. This is unpolitical. It's very unfortunate that our politics has been very commercialized.
Transactional politics.
It's something that it bothers me a lot. Bothers me a lot because sometimes when you have access to a lot of money, you're unable to look at, you're unable to ask you critical questions. Questions that are about how you intend to lead other people. Mr. Chike, voting for you means that I accept that you're better than me. I don't know if people actually think about that one. Voting for you to represent me means that I agree that a lot of my aspirations, within the context of what you can provide, I've handed over to you. That is the meaning of that I'm voting for you to be mine. So the question is that people come around and then they throw funds, they throw money everywhere. They have a lot of funds and then they throw money. And something happened a few days ago, maybe yesterday, about 2 days ago, a particular market caught fire somewhere in Ibadan. And the people in the opposition party went there. And as usual, as expected, they started throwing money around. Guess what? When our candidates went there, he didn't throw money around. You know what he did? He said, okay, no, let's rebuild these shops. Let's not make it political. I'll bring in planks, I'll bring in nails, I'll bring in pants. Let's start the process of rebuilding together. It doesn't matter if I'm a governor or not. Let's see how we can restore these businesses back so that you can go back to feeding your families. Now, isn't that better than coming and say, I announced this donation for this? For political, and people shout and say, it's a lot of money. At the end of the day, if you announce 100 million, by the time they start sharing the money, maybe the people that are actually victims, they get maybe 1,005, maybe 500, maybe 200, maybe 150. That cannot actually rebuild their businesses for them. And that's the issue. You know, number two. Number three thing is the fact that, you see, this issue of throwing money at the grassroots is really a fundamental problem. And this is where I now get to speak about the electoral umpire. Something happened that really bothers me, Mr. Chike. I went for Ondo elections. The last election I produced, I had that one in 2024. I went for that particular election. And I went as an observer, you know. And I didn't go as any political. I just wanted to go learn new election strategies as deployed by INEC. So when I got there, I realized that INEC, so I got a particular local government, a federal local government. That's where I stayed, Barauke. When I got there, I realized that, so a particular polling unit that I stayed, that I observed, I saw a party was buying votes. A party, they were buying votes. And then I went to meet the police officer in charge. I said, Baba, can't you say that they are buying votes here? You know what he told me, Mr. Chike? He said, if you want to buy, go and buy. My job here is not to catch who's buying votes. My work here is to maintain law and order, to ensure that there is no violence. I laughed, I smiled. That's okay, so today, and that is where INEC comes in. INEC must now ensure that their work of ensuring that very free and fair election starts from the campaigns. Start from the kind of campaigns that you are doing. You see, throwing money around, right, at maybe eve of election during campaigns, most of the time, it's also a style of voters' inducement. That's the truth. It's also a style of voters' inducement.
So let's talk about specific issues, issues that could dominate campaigns.
In Oyo State.
Yeah, in Oyo State, especially for the APM.
Circular Road.
We have infrastructure. It's been visible in this administration already. So, would you say infrastructure is enough to campaign with? Or do you think the APM will be going deeper, talking about the economy, jobs, and all that?
So I can tell you for a fact that, let's speak specifics. I'll tell you 5 things I will campaign with. And maybe this is the first platform I was saying it, so I can prepare our opposition. So they plan for their engagement. Number 1, when we're talking on infrastructure, right? Governor Seyi Makinde has connected everywhere in this state, everywhere. Under Seyi Makinde, Ogbomoso to Okiegun has been connected, Oyo to Okiegun has been connected, Ibadan to Okiegun has been connected. I speak to you, we're connecting Ibadan and Ibarapa, right? So every major, there's no zone in this particular state, right, that they will tell that they've not felt the hand or the good works of Governor Seyi Makinde, or they've not enjoyed the dividends of democracy, right? Number 1, infrastructure. Because when we started campaigning, we'll ask the APC, didn't you build roads? How are you going to say that Seyi Makinde did not build roads? How are you going to say that we did not invest too much in infrastructure? Number 2 is creation of jobs for young persons. Mr. Chike, do you know what it means for over 25,000 young persons in the state to get gainfully employed in the state civil service? And these persons, you don't have to know a politician. You don't have to know somebody that knows somebody. No, as long as you pass the exams, right, and you're fortunate enough to be picked, you don't have to know anybody. I'm saying that the kind of recruitment that Governor Seyi Makinde did, right, if you score 49.9%, 49.99%, and your name is Michael Lugunshino, you will not be employed. You know, for the very first time, we saw people that actually got jobs on merit. And as reflected in our latest ranking, external exams ranking, the kind of persons we're actually recruiting, sir, 25,000 persons. So imagine that. So it means that we've given hope to a lot of people who were out of school, who were still thinking about life, right? They understand that all things being equal, they have a job for the next 30 years of their life. Right? 22,000 people. We're talking about sports and economy.
Yeah, we'll still talk more on some of these issues. Specific issues to campaign with. But we'll go on this quick break, and when we come back, we'll be doing more of the breakdown. And I'll take your messages. Remember, you can keep them coming via the WhatsApp number 0705 505 1061 and on the app X at Dominion Car. Stick around. Don't go away.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still the agenda here on Dominion Television. Well, we've been talking about issue-based tone, setting issue-based tones for the campaigns. And I still have my guest in the studio, a spokesman of the Allied People's Movement in Oyo State, the APM, here, Michael Ogunshino. Before we went on that break, Mike, we're talking about issue-based campaigns. You know, what are those specifics? You mentioned infrastructure as one of the major specific. And then I asked again, apart from infrastructure, is that enough? Is the APM going deeper into economy, job creation, security, and what more?
So number one, for economy, one of the things we campaigned with was at the time we were coming about in 2019, Oyo State revenue IGR was hovering around 1.6, 1.3 every month. Now, we've gone to about 11 billion, 9 to 11 billion, just about 7 years. And we did that without necessarily actually increasing the tax burden. No, we did not. You know what we did? We just widened the tax net. Do you get it? So people are more encouraged to pay their tax now. We invited more business into town, and more business means more tax for government, you know. It means more revenue for government. And that's what we just did. So in the economy, we are not in a very, as a matter of fact, about 2 weeks ago, there was a particular news that the state government said that we performed 91, we had hit our target, 91.7% of our revenue target. That's what we got in first quarter of this year. First half of this year. 91.7% of our revenue target. That is huge, sir. Very huge. For a state like ours. You know, it means that the state has a lot of money. A lot of money now. You look at education. When we came on board, there was only 1.5 university. And people were not clear about about the institution of TechU, right? And then LAUTECH was shared. So the only university that you can say we had before Seyi Makinde came was TechU and LAUTECH that was co-owned.
Partly owned by
Osun State, right? But now, under Governor Seyi Makinde, we have 3 universities. It was certain of TechU standards. It completely belongs to your state government. It has been refurbished and done in such a way that it is now for your state. And then we have Immanuel University of Education, right? And then we have LAUTECH, which is now fully owned by the state government, courtesy of Governor Seyi Makinde's hard work, right? And of course, University of Education is also another master stroke. You know, if you look at education in particular states now, compared to where you're coming from, you've done better. As a matter of fact, when we came aboard in 2019, the governments we inherited from, they were owing 2018 counterpart fund, 2017 counterpart fund for SUBEB, 2018 counterpart fund for SUBEB, and then 2019 counterpart fund for SUBEB. When we came, we cleared out the backlog of counterpart fund, and that's why we were able to access fund, and we used in building a lot of model schools across the city that we now have. You know, quite a lot of them across the city now. And then you look at infrastructure again, look at the terminals. Are you aware, sir, Mr. Chikubogu, that today Oyo State is one of the safest cities in the country?
You're campaigning, you say you're going to campaign.
I'm not campaigning yet, so I'm saying that.
What I'm saying is, are you saying the APM will campaign based on security?
Yes, we will.
Considering what happened to kids in 56 days in
it's not exclusive to Oyo State. Are you aware?
It's not, but it happened here in Oyo State.
No, it's not exclusive to Oyo State. I'm also aware that.
But truth be told, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I observed some things in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And very early in the morning, you know, coming to work as early as 6, you see people jogging on the streets, young ladies, young guys jogging on the street without being harassed and all that. You know, so it shows a sign of high level of security.
That has been there before now, right?
Yeah.
And
it was not really safe.
It was there. Now we've heightened it because what we actually want is a very secure state. We're asking investors to come to our state, and we're also assuring them of perfect or excellent security. And please quote me. I didn't say this. MBS said it. MBS, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, they've told you that Oyo State is the safest state in the entire southern region. The 17th southern region of this country, Oyo State is the safest. I didn't say it so. It shows that we know what you're doing. And whatever it is you are doing it right. And that's very critical. If you look at, we also want to campaign massively on youth and sports.
Youth and sport.
Yes.
Because
So people have said a lot about that particular area.
Yeah.
And I've said, let me remind you, one of the things Governor Seyi Makinde did was that the last time anybody did that similar was when Ajimobi appointed Mondapo Lam to be the Commissioner for Youth and Sports. But then you see, Governor Seyi Makinde has, when he came on board, he brought in Shehu Fakorede. And Shehu Fakorede ensured that they brought stability to the state's own shooting stars. As I speak to you, Crown FC is doing very well in the NNL. I can assure you that all things being equal, they're going to qualify for the NPFL this year too. And our sports is getting better. Do you know how many Oyo State athletes have won awards at different sports events, from Paralympics to athletic championship across Africa, across the world?
Winning is not a problem. How many of them have been well paid?
No. So what is important for us in the university is actual engagement. You see, one of the things we're also going to campaign with is that for the very first time since a long time, we have a relational governor. We have a governor who listens, right? Who will not speak to the people in a very condescending manner. We have a governor that engages the people. In the height of secular road agitations, the governor did not ask them to come to secretariat. He drove to meet them at the very point of the agitation. Sat down with them, Idigbaro, sat down and said, what are the issues? And that day, I remember that he drove himself, and then he walked straight in the midst of the protesters and said, see, I'm Seyi Makinde, what's the issue? I am your governor, what's the issue? I didn't start this project. I just want us to get this off the bucket list and so that we can move ahead. And they engaged the people. Today, the circular road issue has been completely solved, and people have been engaged, and we're on the same page.
I'll put you on the spot on that circular road issue. You said it's been completely solved.
I said that people have been thoroughly engaged.
I don't think it has been.
No, apart from those who are playing politics with it, apart from, I know that this particular time, a few days ago, I was speaking to a particular friend, and I said that Seyi Makinde is very lucky and he's a performer. You've done government for almost 8 years. The only thing people can use to speak against your governor is an infrastructural project. He has done well. If the only thing now people are saying now, we will not vote for him because of Circular Road. And Circular Road is actually an infrastructural project. It means that Seyi Makinde has achieved so much that the opposition don't have any other thing to say apart from a very major infrastructural project.
And that is?
Circular Road. So let me explain of Circular Road now. And I know some part of the engagements that has been ongoing. And at this particular point, I can tell you that, and like I've always said, engagement has to be thorough. The point we have with our Circular Road people is that they are saying that, and I also want to reiterate it, that any place where there are no habitations, where there are no buildings, 500 meters to the left, 500 meters to the right, any place where it is densely populated, people are living there, is 75 meters. There is no ambiguity about it.
Wait,
no ambiguity is it.
Can you
anywhere there is no habitation.
No habitation.
People are not
500 meters to the left,
500 to the right.
Despite the fact that those people even acquired their property.
No. So what do acquire property is a very big statement, because what makes you a landlord is not that you pay the money to an agent. It's documentation.
Yeah.
Right?
Even when you have the right documentation.
There's no, and I want to
and you're not, you've not put up a structure there.
I want to say this to you.
Yeah.
Right documentation as far as the government is red copy. Right? Okay. Not the one Abonile gave to you.
Okay.
It is the government.
So this is where I'm going to.
I'm saying that many of the persons on that particular land do not have the government's copy because already it's acquisition. And that particular acquisition is a gazetted land. That particular acquisition was not done by Governor Seyi Makinde.
When was it gazetted
November,
to 500
November
meters?
2018.
To 500 meters to the right, 500 meters
November
to the left.
2018. Governor Ajimobi did it.
Okay.
Now, in fact, it was in Nigerian Tribune, November 2018. I have it in the car. If you want, I'll give it to you.
Okay. And so those who purchase the land, who have their red copy, and at the end of the day, you
cannot have red copy for that particular land. That's what I'm saying. Have you seen anybody that has red copy of that land?
Hold on, Mike. Some people, now you have an individual who purchased the land, he got his red copy, but because he cannot put up a structure at the moment, would that land be revoked?
I'm serious, and I also want to say this, and I've said it everywhere, that many of our persons that are, because I also have friends, family who are victims. So I'm trying to talk with a lot of intelligence, so that I don't offend the sensibility of those who are already victims. It doesn't matter the kind of grammar you speak. The entirety of government, it is to affect lives and properties, is to make life easy for people. So, but I'm saying that, see, look at this particular matter. There is nobody who's on the circular road who has a red copy, because it's a gazetted land. In simple parlance, they call it acquisition. It's a land acquisition, right? So the government has taken it. But we are saying that, hey, forget about the fact that you don't have proper government recognized documents, right? We're saying that we'll engage you. Come around, let's talk about it. Let's talk about compensation. And that's where we are. Mr. Chike, are you also aware that when it comes to compensation for land in Nigeria, according to the Land Use Act, the value, what they pay compensation for is the land, not the building, not the house. Do you get it? And that compensation is paid at the value of the land at the point of acquisition. The amount they are selling the land when we acquired it, that is the percentage of that particular money, is what the government pays. That is what the Land Use Act says. But we are saying that we don't even pay that particular money. You can still go a bit higher, because our people are our people. And when we will still sit down on the same page and reason together. And that's one of the things that we keep saying. Engagement has to be thorough. As I speak to you, whenever our persons on the circular road corridor who are engaging with the government, and engagement today is already becoming very fruitful. And I'm very happy again, very happy that of all things that has happened in this world, the only thing the opposition is saying in your state is that circular road. That is the only thing they are using to campaign against Seyi Makinde. No, Seyi Makinde has done well. At that particular point in the Ajimobi administration, there were a lot of things to campaign against.
Now, you talked about alliance, the APM, the PDP the engine, while the APM is the vehicle itself. Now, the question is the relationship between the remaining PDP structures. And the APM, don't you think it will affect the issues that will be campaigned with during this period?
So as far as we are concerned, we are done with the PDP for now. Our focus is campaigning for the APM.
You're done with the PDP for now?
Yes.
Does it mean, let me puncture you there a bit, does it mean that Wike has won? Since you are done with the PDP
don't forget
for now.
that there are litigations in court.
But you say you are done with the party for now.
Because our focus now is on politics. Our focus on is campaigns. And we are prosecuting that particular campaigns on the platform of the APM. Okay. So it will be very distracting if we're now still looking at the issues of the PDP. We'll come back to that after the elections. Okay. We will still see what we can do with that after the elections. But now, our focus now is how the campaigns for APM from top to bottom. Number one. Number two thing is the fact that we also talking to our people, right? And again, I want to say it again today to you, that engagement has to be thorough. I believe that 1 minute is too long in politics, right? So we'll always engage our people until the point where everybody's on the same page. So even those who are on the other side, the people that we are now interested in sitting down with are people who have publicly identified with the APC. And we are not seeing that there is no hope of them coming back to us. But for people who are still agitated, people who are still angry, we still see how we can sit down on the table, have a discussion, and bring them back to the mainstream. And we are working hard on that. PDP is a very big family, and now we are switching to the APM. And APM is also a very big family that has accommodated us, that has welcomed us, and then they are giving us their platform to prosecute our elections. We are one big happy family. And even the APM will ensure that we are engaging ourselves intelligently or meeting regularly to see that we prosecute the election to the point of success.
So after the elections, you leave that one big family?
No, after the elections, we look at the situation subjectively. Okay. We look at the next thing for us to do.
And that's when you get back to the PDP?
No, we decide if we want to continue with the APM or we want to go back to the PDP. But now, the conversation now is that every energy is on campaigning for the APM in United States.
All right,
let's
take some messages from across the state at the moment. Our team have selected a few civil and thoughtful contributions that came in this morning. Let's see this. from Bodija, Mrs. Fumilayo Adeyemi. She says, I appreciate the roads and the salary consistency for teachers. As a parent, I want the next campaigns to talk seriously about the quality of teaching and learning materials in our public primary schools. Fancy speeches will not help my children if the classrooms remain overcrowded. That's a comment from Mrs. Fumilayo there. And another comment here from Tunde Akinola. Yes, Tunde Akinola from Ogbomoso. Oh, thank you for joining us this morning. It says, security for farmers is my main concern. We plant, but sometimes we cannot harvest in peace. Any party that wants my vote in 2027 must tell us clearly how they will protect rural communities, not just build more roads in Ibadan. They should come to Ogbomoso and protect communities. You want to quickly react to this question?
Yes. So this particular person, I'm sure, maybe just go back to Ogbomoso. Maybe he's based on something around for some time, and just go back to town. Because if in Ogbomoso, you understand, as I speak to you, the state government, we are massively reconstructing and renovating the link roads, the inner roads in the Ogbomoso zone of the state, and we are doing that with reckless abandon. Every major road that is bad, we are fixing it. That is, of course, Trunk B and Trunk C roads. So we're doing that now in Ogbomoso. You should actually blame the federal government. They are the one in charge of security. Seyi Makinde cannot actually control the smallest, the least rank in Nigerian police. The smallest rank in Nigerian police reports to the IGP and not to the governor. Right, and that's where the issue is. We should hold the president responsible for the insecurity in the nation. But what we can do as a state to complement the security provided by the federal government, of course, we are doing it. And we genuinely hope that when Nigerians will vote for Seyi Makinde in 2027, and when Seyi Makinde presidency will completely overhaul the security architecture of this nation and fix it the way it is necessary.
Well, you got your answer there, Mr. Akinola. There, okay. Alaja Rukayat Bello from Shaki is saying market women feel the cost of everything. If APM is talking about issue-based politics, let them address the prices of food and transport. Continuity is good, but continuity must reach the market stalls. That's Alaja Rukayat there, where it's source of concern. Well, Mike, those are three clear voices. You know, education, quality, rural security, and also cost of living. So, how should APM candidates respond to?
Number one, it's very simple actually. Number one, continuity, and continuity means that. Let me tell you where it started from. Started from accelerated development in 2019. You remember, sir?
Yeah.
And then in 2022-23, we came with sustainable development. You remember? And now one of the things that Adekomi has promised us, and we'll put our energy in 2027 and beyond, is continued development, right? Improvements on where it is necessary, and also ensure that the state is better for it. See, it's critical for us to see to it. For people in Shaki, before Seyi Makinde came, to get to Iseyin alone is 4 hours. Within 2 hours and 4 hours to get to Iseyin. On a very good day, if rain did not fall, it's within 2 hours estimates to get to Iseyin. When the day rain falls, 4 or 5 hours, you're still on that particular bad road. Today, from Mona to Iseyin is 45 minutes, right? It means that there's a shortened travel time, you know, from Monia to Shaki. Whatever you do in Shaki, Ibadan is the main market for everybody, right? It's the capital market for everybody. So Seyi Makinde's hard work has ensured that markets in Shaki can now sell. There's easy access to road. So for people in Ogbomoso now, so for example, Okeogun is the agricultural or food basket of the entire Oyo state, right? That Okeogun, Seyi Makinde alone, because of his brain and love for Okeogun people, he has fixed every major access road to Okeogun. Every major access road to Okeogun. We did not rebuild, we renovated the road from Iganga to Ibora. Yes, Seyi Makinde did Igana to Ibora. Seyi Makinde renovated a particular road. I know that road very well. I know how it was before we won the election. So for people in Ogbomoso, you also agree with us that one thing we have also done well is the fact that the mainstay of Ogbomoso economy is LAUTECH. And now, LAUTECH has become, again, it is now the best university in Nigeria, courtesy of Sheyi Makinde's investments and subventions and regular subventions and not owing their salaries. So I'm saying that all of these things are very critical. We're saying that if you know what Sheyi Makinde has done for this state and you really appreciate it, please vote for Sheyi Makinde's presidency. When we get to Abuja, we can genuinely fix, and don't forget that the vice president candidates in the former DSS, we can genuinely and actually fix the security issues once and for all, and the state will be better for it.
All right, still taking questions here. Let's look at this from Segun Oladipo from Challenge. It says, Mr. Ogunshino, with Governor Makinde eyeing the national stage, how does APM ensure that the state agenda does not become secondary to presidential ambition?
How does the state agenda does not become secondary to presidential ambition? Yeah. Well, actually, the ready question you ask people is that Sheyi Makinde done well as a state governor. The answer is yes to everybody, right? And okay, so if he has done well, he has now brought somebody who is very intelligent to continue from where he will be stopping in May 2027. And that person is Abimbola Adekombi. See, it's critical. If it will not be secondary, it completely depends on the voters, the electors of Oyo State. If we vote right in 2027 and Sheyi Makinde wins the election, 2 weeks after we'll have Adekombi win the election. Kai, or just about, you know they call it Dorado, you know we call paradise. Sheyi Makinde has one grace that people cannot deny. And that particular grace is the grace to make complex situations very easy. Things that look seemingly difficult, impossible, and complex. When Sheyi Makinde grace enters it becomes very easy and seamless. For example, the Gate Road. If somebody had told you, Mr. Chike Obugu, that you can fix challenge traffic situation without an overhead bridge, you will not believe. But see intelligence, see deep intelligence, see deep reasoning. So I keep saying that what has happened to us in this country is not difficult. It's not you just need somebody, a leader who is right thinking. You need a leader who is very, who is people first, who can do, again, who understand modern realities, who understand TikTok and WhatsApp. You cannot keep voting for people who don't have classmates. They can't trace their classmates. They are still talking about WAEC and NECO in 2026. Let's forget about that. So again, the way to not become secondary ambition is when those of us in the state vote for the APM. Now, it's simple. If you vote for Bimbo Adekombi has worked with a man that has paid salaries consistently for 8 years. Bimbo Adekombi has worked with a man that has delivered on all of his campaign promises.
We're not here to talk of Bimbo. We'll start talking about Bimbo Adekombi come September 9. I know you are eager to talking about him. But from September 9, we'll start talking about. So we can talk about the incumbent governor who also has
so for national agenda. I also want to reiterate the fact that this is, and I think I've told you before on your show before, that Sheyi Makinde's presidency is a clamor from Nigerians. I'm left to my principal. I think he wants to go and rest, right? Leading on your state is a very Kulian tax. He needs to rest. But Nigerians are saying, no, God,
you rest while leading Nigeria?
No, I'm saying that.
He wanted to rest.
Yes, Nigerians are saying, oh, God, you are too intelligent. If you cannot organize master class.
Nigerians or the people of Oyo State?
No, Nigerians. Because, see, let me tell you.
Some people say he was being deceived.
No. When I was youth leader, I go about the statistics of this country regularly. When I was the PDP youth leader, regularly, I travel and meet my colleagues. And they tell us that, Michael, if your governor cannot organize master class for his other governors to teach them how to really, really run a state, and we cannot borrow him to become our governor for 6 months, and come and do a prototype or a model for our own governor, please let him become the president of the nation.
Did you influence him to run in?
I was one of those that begged Sheyi Makinde to listen to the clamor of Nigerians.
How did you beg him?
A lot. I won't tell you.
How did you beg
him? A lot. I won't tell you.
Tell me.
I won't tell you.
I want to know.
I won't tell you.
For the governor to hear you out.
No, think about it. Think about it. Look at what has happened to us in Oyo State. Look at the kind of leadership that we've had in the last 7 years. Look at the kind of covenant that Sheyi Makinde had with us. And see how he has made good his promise. Right? For the very first time, we have a governor that you can guess. Did you get it? Now, if anybody comes to you and is a civil servant and say, Mr. Chike, you're a billionaire, borrow me money, you will not think twice. Because you know that our GSM dates, 25, they have money. And that's the truth. Like everybody now understands that, no, this guy is completely fixed. You know, the very difficult things in these states has been fixed. And that is what we need at national level too. We need somebody with that kind of intelligence. Somebody that can solve complex situations without necessarily... Look at the way... For example, in case you don't know, the Tinubu administration has completely imposed a tax burden on us as a nation. Everything now you pay tax. Everything now is money. Everything. In fact, they are so very insensitive that they made the chairman of NRS, National Revenue Service, to be the deputy chairman fundraising for a presidential election. You know the meaning of that? It is Nigerians, all of us, that will fund the campaigns of a failing and a non-performing president. That is a very unfortunate situation. So I'm saying that Seyi Makinde's presidency, it will not impose tax burden. No, it will not. It will actually widen the tax net so that many persons can come. See, Baba, the kind of investment that has happened in our state in 7 years is unprecedented. That is the truth. In fact, one of those investment is Dominion TV.
Okay, let me come to you. See, that is not the governor's investment.
No.
It's the investment of Bishop Felix.
No. It's Seyi Makinde creating a thriving atmosphere for businesses to thrive. If there was insecurity, Bishop wouldn't come here, right? If the state was in a comatose, if our economy wasn't thriving, right? The state wouldn't come here.
I understand you, but there's one thing. People have said, and they've called the governor the real estate governor, the governor who sells land, gives land to cronies and all that. Now, he wants to become president. What's the assurance that Mr. Governor, if he becomes president?
When he becomes president?
When he becomes president? The people will decide. It is if.
When he becomes president?
The people will decide.
Will become president?
And the INEC
when he becomes
announce.
president?
INEC is the umpire.
When he becomes president?
So, for the sake of this discussion, if he becomes president, now, are you saying that Mr. Governor might sell some parcel of land, choice lands, all over the country?
No, let me tell you what will happen. Let me tell you what will happen when he becomes the governor. One of the things Makinde will do is that we will genuinely return power to the state. Our fiscal federalism now currently has to be tested, really tested. For example, imagine that we are the ones in charge of Ikere Gorge now. Imagine what the state would have done with that particular resources. Are you aware that there's a particular agency in Abuja that is in charge of all of these natural resources? For what? Why? What God has gifted our own state, why do you have to depend on Abuja to manage it? So I'm saying that these are the issues. One of the things Seyi Makinde would do, the Makinde presidency would do, is that we will really test this fiscal federalism thing. Would allow states to operate and grow the way they want to grow at their own pace.
Sell lands?
No, at their own pace.
Collect lands?
No. And when you say sell lands in your state,
yeah, because people have said
that. I want to tell you,
yeah.
Mr. Chiki, I want to tell you, without fear of contradiction, without mind saying what, categorically, without form of responsibility, that Governor Seyi Makinde has not under any guise at any particular point taken anybody's land. If you see a land that Seyi Makinde is in, please bring it out.
So all the lands that are being developed, estates here and there.
So let's look at. I want to tell you three.
Okay.
Three. Number one is Woodlands Court. Not far to this place.
Yeah.
Just along this particular place. That Woodlands Court, how was that particular place before Seyi Makinde came? Was anybody living there? Was it habitable? Was it not a bush before Seyi Makinde came?
Okay.
Let's look at the Trans Amusement Park.
Okay.
Right? Trans Amusement Park.
Yes.
Before Seyi Makinde came, what was the region of that particular place? People are selling hard drugs. It's a combination that I know very well.
So why turn Trans Amusement Park into an estate when you can revamp it for recreation purpose?
No. Truth of the matter is that if you look at the housing system in Oyo State is becoming so very wide. The housing deficit in Oyo State is becoming so very wide, and we also need to encourage people to come into the main city. Truth of the matter is that many of these persons who are complaining about Trans Amusement Park cannot even afford it anyway. Number one. So, because it's really a fundamental issue. So, today, the second biggest estate in Oyo State is that, but I forgot what they call it. I forgot what they call that estate now. Something called, I forgot what it is now. But truth of the matter is that if you look at it, and what we've now done in that place, it is now more revenue for the state government.
Okay. To the detriment of the people.
No, they're
not affordable.
How many people? No, the truth of the matter. No,
how many low-cost housing estates has the government built for the people?
Okay, so as I speak to you, sir, do
civil servants afford those houses?
If they can't. They are citizens that stay there actually. So let me tell you, Mr. Chiki, myself and yourself, we stay on the same axis.
I don't know.
Okay.
I never knew.
We still on the same axis.
Okay.
Yeah, we still on the Leologueru axis.
So, is that where I stay?
Yeah, that's where you
Okay.
stay. No, so
You
I
are
know.
assuming.
I'm not assuming. I know that's where you stay.
Okay.
Because I've seen you a couple of times. You're a big man.
Yeah.
And all of us know big men.
Okay.
So that is the truth, right? And why are you not staying in Hirojo? Why are you not staying
I
in
can't afford it.
Kolaboshala?
I can't afford
Even
it.
me, I cannot afford it.
Huh. So
So you know
that's
the
why
meaning
we're
of
going
that?
to.
No,
So
you
why
know-
can't the government
I'm saying
build
that.
low-cost housing estates
No,
for people
see,
now that rent is even soaring?
I'm saying that. I'm saying that. Are there people who has actually built low-cost housing estates that people can now access? The answer is yes.
Of course.
Abi, are there people who have built houses in areas where rents are very reasonable?
Yes.
Abi, and people are staying there?
We're talking about people. We are talking about government.
No. See, I'm saying that is the. We must understand that in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to governance, the government should really have no business doing business. The focus of the government must be to create an avenue for businesses to thrive. If government goes into business, who will compete with government? Do you understand it? What they have not done is that same Seyi Makinde has now opened, Baba. So just after your junction to your house, just junction to your house, if you just move forward a bit, there's a particular very massive estate being built on that particular axis. Me, I stay in because I know that I cannot afford Kolaboshala, I cannot afford Aerodrome. I stay where I can actually afford. So if there are people that can afford Aerodrome, why am I agree with them? If they can afford the estate in Trans, why am I agree with them? I don't know what the issue is. Now, so the third question is that look at the issue of Baywood Estate. Baywood Estate here.
Yeah.
What was happening in that place before we came?
Well, don't you think Agodi Gardens would
Many
have been
times.
expanded?
No. So let me tell you, it's still,
The ecosystem
it's
has
still
been
very
degraded.
no. So let me tell you, it is not degraded. It is not.
Okay.
Because what we did was just about the 10% of. It's a 200 hectares of land. So we took about 20
For an
hectares.
estate that is not affordable to even the civil servants and secretariat,
So that's
not too far from there.
No, that's where the issue is. This issue of affordable housing.
Yeah.
I want to genuinely ask you, how many civil servants, Lagos-based civil servants, how many of them stay in Alausa? Just opposite Alausa is Magodo phase 1.
So
Phase 2.
You don't compare Lagos with.
No, I can't
Oyo
because
State.
actually that's
They don't
you
earn
see-
the same
see,
IGR.
No. Because you must understand that our focus is not to stay at a very low level. We don't want to stay at this average level. We don't want to stay at this parochial level. We want to advance. We want an urban city, right? And you want to keep asking people is that okay? That particular what they call it Buagala, that Agodi Gardens and the bush behind it, right? Can you have such expanse of land in a place like Lagos undeveloped? So why should you have it in Ibadan? Don't forget that this particular place, this particular large expanse of land, that was a bush. Many times my mother will call me and say, if you are driving, no, don't pass down that roadside in the night. Because it is actually risky. Now, nobody will call you to be careful. Opposite that place is the number 1 5-star hotel in the States now. Premier Hotel, the upgraded Premier Hotel. So how can Premier Hotel be facing a bush? How can?
Okay, so I'm not against developing this.
You are not against urbanization.
I'm not against urbanization.
That's the word, not development.
Yeah, I'm not against urbanization.
So
what I'm against is
because the question, Mr. Chiki,
Yeah.
the question is that people that have said Seyi Makinde took my land, let them come out and say Seyi Makinde took my land.
Okay, so I'm not against urbanization, but what I'm clamoring for is this: if you're going to urbanize an area, urbanize it for the low-cost earners. Don't urbanize it for cronies who start buying these properties for millions, hundreds of millions of naira. And at the end of the day, the man on the street won't be able to afford it. Rent is soaring high.
How many men on the streets currently stay within the urban areas of Ibadan?
So let me ask you, can a youth couple afford an apartment? Just asking you.
In Aerodrome.
Yeah,
Let's use Aerodrome as an example.
Can a youth couple?
So the salary of the take home of a core member is 77,000.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The average amount of a room self-contained in the Ibadan land and those urban areas.
Aerodrome, we're using Aerodrome as an example.
So it's about say 350, 400.
In Aerodrome?
Yes.
It's not possible.
How much is it?
It's not possible for you to get a room self-contained.
How much is it? I'm not.
It's over $1 million.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. Well,
so
I'm
you'll
saying
find
that.
out that
So I'm
even
saying
the
that.
copper can't even afford it.
I'm saying that. So that particular aerodrome, because you can also not despite days of little beginnings. That but between aerodrome and a place like Songo, it's about 15 or 20 minutes, 5 minutes drive, less than 15 minutes trek, right? So which means you have an option. Another option in that particular area is UI, is Samanda, is Songo, and areas around it. Does a huge copper stay aerodrome? That's the truth. Does a huge copper, for example, sir,
so has the government built any Coppers Lodge anywhere in Oyo State?
Okay. A lot of local government has. Number one,
Coppers quarters.
Yes.
I know
a lot of local governments.
Dilapidated ones?
Let's look at it, sir. And this is my point. Another major point for me is the fact that you see, let us not this issue of urbanization and states coming into a place where rental values is becoming high. I also understand it's a fundamental problem that the government needs to regulate. So I want to put a balance to it. There must actually be a regulation. Some of these agents are becoming very insensitive, wicked, callous, and unnecessarily greedy. And I mean house agents, not actually landlords. You know, these house agents in Ibadan, they are becoming very funny. But I'm saying that beyond that too, we must not also deny our own reality. It is one major thing. We must not deny our reality. See, as long as there are in life, there will always be the bourgeoisie, always be proletariat. This is one of the things that you cannot always get away in life. Even Jesus said that there will be people that will be better than each other. It is not. Do you get it? For example, sir, there are people that I went to UI. There's some of my friends that went to private universities, say like Covenant, like Bowen, like private universities.
Yeah, okay.
Me, I went to UI.
Okay.
Do you understand? So I would have preferred to also go to the private universities now. Why did I go there? I know my reality. My reality is that the people that send me to school and how I send myself to school, I cannot afford private university. Just stay where I can. Do you understand? Maybe my own kids should go to private university. And I don't know. If you go to a public university, I don't know.
Well,
but nobody should deny their own reality.
We'll talk about urbanization some other day. Mike, as we round off, in just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, because we've run out of time. In 1 minute, a message for the people of, for candidates in the APM and parties faithfuls in APM. 1 minute.
And I have to speak in English language.
You can code mix.
Okay. Since 2019, my people, we've actually had a covenant with you. And the covenant is to ensure that we run a government that is easy for the people to feel. We have a government that is very emotional. We have a governor who is very intelligent and sensible. And as our party members, as APM members, what we have done is that we've had a government that is easy to sell. Seyi Makinde has run a government that is easy to sell for the people. We have a commitment, we have a mandate, and this mandate is to ensure that APM wins the next election so that we can continue to be in government. It has happened in many places in the country. We can also achieve it in your state. That we have a stable and unshaken and a very consistent model of governance and leadership. Please, let us keep faith with the APM. Keep faith with Governor Seyi Makinde. Keep faith that the future is very, very bright, and all of us will celebrate and enjoy at the end of the day. Thank you very much for what you do for the APM, for Seyi Makinde, for being Wade Columbia, and for all of us. Thank you. God bless you.
Well, Mike, thank you for featuring on the agenda.
I'm very
this
grateful.
morning. All right, we've spent this morning on the agenda examining how the Allied People's Movement can set a serious issue-based tone for the 2027 campaigns in Oyo State. My guest has been Michael Ogunshino, the spokesman for the APM in Oyo State. Thank you for your time and clarity, Mike. And thank you at home for watching and contributing. The work of democracy is continuous. Stay engaged, stay civil, and keep the focus on. This is Chike Ugbogu. Have a very productive day.